my dad was a boilermaker, and well, he knew how to make things when I asked him what things I needed, like, so he could help me alter my car and push bikes and things for taps and stuff like that. But then he started getting a bit too old to be able to crawl under cars, and somehow I come across TADWA, and they helped me get a computer, and well, they built me a desk for my computer, and now they're looking at building me a lounge chair. Found an electric scooter, and I needed one with a seat, so I asked TADWA if they could help me with that, and they actually put a seat on it. And then the next problem was me trying to lift it. I just couldn't lift it. I talked to John Natago at TADWA and asked him if he could work out something. So they built a hydraulic lift on the back of the car, very compact and everything, and you just push a button and it goes up and down. And because of that, I can keep my independence, do my shopping and go to appointments and things like that. I can go wherever I want to, and the only issue is with parking fines, but I just send them back. And people at TADWA, yeah, they're great. They give me cheap, and I give it back to them. But yeah, they're a great lot of people. Nothing's ever too hard. They'll give everything a go. Without TADWA's help, there's so many things I couldn't do. And now, because of their assistance, I can go dog training, I can go to the shops by myself, my appointments. I don't have to always count on someone being there, and because of that, I can keep my independence.
It's always been very difficult to do anything with Kale because he's very limited in what he can do. His days are really wrapped around watching television or DVDs or videos and things like that. But when we had the opportunity to get the bike, it was just perfect.
I do the tendon steering bikes, making up the parts, get them all ready for cutting, and then I send the parts into the welding bay. They get welded up. I get it all sandblasted, painted, and put them all on the bike, and then it gets all finished and goes back to the client for a fitting.
Quite often a parent will come here and they say, oh, he or she can't ride a bike. However, when you throw them on a bike, the first thing they do is start pedalling like crazy, and you've got to catch them.
I went down to TADWA. They measured Kale up for the bike. He was tearing off around the car park. It was amazing. I think it's given him a little bit more of an outlet. He can get more exercise now. He's not a big child by any means, but I've always been concerned about his level of exercise or fitness. It gives us the opportunity to actually go out as a family. He really enjoys just being out and doing something totally different, you know, where he didn't have that opportunity before in the past. So it gives him his own outlet now. It's going to keep me on my toes because I've got to actually jog after the bike. We haven't quite got to the stage where I can cycle on my own yet, and I don't know because he has no road sense, so I'd rather be behind him. He's very animated when he's riding the bike. He loves it, and you can see that it's a joy for him to do.
James is my grandson, and 5 years ago now, the DCP rang and said that they were removing James from his mother's care, and could I take him? Because if I didn't take him, he's going into foster care. I said yes, of course. He was 8 years old. He was like a lump that sat in the middle of the floor and rocked. The school thought that he was totally non-verbal. He couldn't speak. Now he's 43 kilos. He runs, he plays. He's got a speech impediment, but he tries. I actually created a swing for James myself, and it was hanging off the patio. And as he got, it was all right when he was little, but as he got bigger, there was this rather ominous creaking. I could see the whole thing falling down. It really wasn't a hard decision to turn around to go to TADWA again when I needed a swing. And boy, have they given me a swing.
We had to take into account where it was going, limited space, the height. The young fella swings quite high, he's quite strong, so we wanted to allow for the strength. We needed the weight because that's what was cemented into the ground, because he does swing quite high and he was a solid boy, so we needed to allow for all those factors.
Then they even asked me what colour I wanted, which wasn't something I even thought of. Because of the autism, he does a lot of rocking, and I find the swing seems to just ease that a little bit, and it stops him actually sort of sitting and rocking in a chair. He comes home from school and the first thing he takes off his shoes and he's on the swing. That's the very first thing before he does anything else. He'll have a swing and then he'll come inside and toilet or biscuit, and then back onto the swing again. But it means that I can relax. I know he's safe and I don't hear that horrible creaking sound. It's really strong. It'll last him right through to adulthood.
The design was on normal swings is to have a single swivel that grinds on itself. This particular one, we put bushes up there so that they don't wear out.
It seems to lower the tension on him. He's much more, I could almost say compliant, but James has never been totally compliant because he is male. We have great fun and we love each other, and he's the reason I get up in the morning.
Hi, my name's Nairi. I've known Greg for over 16 years now. I started off working for him as a young'un, as a support worker. I currently now have stopped working for Greg for the last few years, but because of my job at WA Disabled Sports Association, I have the opportunity to go on a lot of camping trips with him. We had a day out at Kent Street where Tina, his support worker, took him down into the rear. It was a bit cold on that day, so he didn't venture too far. But yeah, he's a get-go and he likes to try anything in all types of weather. So they had a great day, followed by a lovely afternoon coffee in the cafe afterwards. The Beach Trekker was originally developed by TADWA following a request from WADSA, and it actually won an episode of the ABC's New Inventors in 2005. It has been designed to take people where other wheelchairs cannot go, over soft ground, to the beach and into water. Greg will try anything once. He was born only weighing about 1 pound of butter, he describes it, and his parents were told that he would most probably not live past 3 years old because of his disability. Well, just a couple of weeks ago he's just turned 72 and he's fighting fit, being able to take part in many activities thanks to the adaptive and modified equipment made by TADWA.
They're a good company, or whatever you like to call them.
I was diagnosed with advanced glaucoma, and the first thing they did, of course, was to take away my driver's license, and after that I gave up business, and I retired. I took an active role in then learning all I could about computers in particular to assist me in my lifestyle. And I asked the Blind Association for assistance, and they recommended me to TADWA. I met Brian. He devised a machine for me.
I think one of the things that Darren finds most useful is the fact that we are available to have discussions and we do offer advice. We're not salespeople, we're service people.
I use a program called ZoomText, which magnifies for me. The glaucoma I have has taken the vision from my right eye. The ZoomText helps me particularly though with being able to use the large pointer. The other part of ZoomText, which assists me, is the reader. The reader will read to me anything that is on the screen.
Annual scientific expedition into Antarctic was unlawful. says Tokyo's envoy to International Court of Justice.
I subscribe to the newspapers, and I can spend an hour or two each day in having them read to me, and therefore I can keep up with what's going on. TADWA have certainly assisted me in the development of my use of the computer.
The way the system works here is the first point of call is our help desk. And what our help desk will do is they'll take your call, and all of the systems that come through TADWA, we install remote management software. That remote management software, along with an internet connection, allows us to see the same thing that the client sees on the screen and to control their keyboard and mouse. That gives us a great insight into the type of problems that the client's seeing and an ability to troubleshoot on the fly. Darren's always a complex challenge to us, but the great thing is that with that complexity means that if we can solve it for Darren, we can solve it for any of our clients.
Like everybody else, I want to be as independent as I can. I do rely on TADWA in assisting me in making my life easier. And I'm also prepared to help TADWA develop some of these things.
Darren is one example of how TADWA Computer Services helps those people with special needs. TADWA Computer Services has over 14 years experience providing custom computer solutions. Our aim here is to provide a system that suits the individual rather than a package that you would normally buy from anybody else. Come and talk to TADWA today. We're happy to give our advice on any of the computer systems that we supply, and we'll custom tailor a package that suits your needs.